how well I do on the homework and how well I do on the quizzes. So sometimes I find that a little like, what am I doing wrong?
Okay.
Just don't always get it. And then I'm doing all the practice stuff and getting everything right, and then I just can't figure out why I miss things on quizzes. So let me open this, and then okay. I guess I'm gonna just start with chapter 11.
Chapter 11, okay.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find my work. Chapter 11. 13. Yeah, normal distribution. I guess one thing I should probably start asking about before we move on is normal distribution. During this chapter, I think it was 11 and 13, I was using the Z tables instead of the calculator. And then when we jumped into the most recent chapter, 14 and 15, it's all calculator. So I'm wondering if I could go back and review any differences, anything different I need to know for calculator use in this, so that way I'm being more consistent just using the calculator related to Z tables all the time.
Yeah. So you, in my quiz on chapter 13, I asked you to use TI-84. Did you read the instructions given in the problem? I gave you the Z-score format, and you have to have it for 3 decimal places. So that's what is given in my instruction. As long as you follow the instruction, it will match with my answers. So the Z-scores, I'm looking for 3 decimal places. So with the 3 decimal places Z-score, you are going to be using only this guy, the TI-84, because your Z table is giving you 2 decimal accuracy for your Z-score. Did you get it? The Z-score that you have in your Z table is for 2 decimal accuracy.
Oh.
Whereas
so then
TI is going to give you the exact number if you stick with the 3 decimal places. So that's what for every single question I gave you the answer format. Have your Z-score to 3 decimal places, use TI-84. But when I did the manual grading, I considered giving you the points. For most of the students who did not pay attention to the Z-score format, still the answer is pretty close. I just put a note saying that pay attention to the answer format and then the question, the instructions and everything, and you need to stick with that.
But I guess what my question is maybe there was calculate. It was I guess I could really use maybe a review on the calculator steps.
Okay. That's
maybe
good.
That's what
with your calculator, what I am telling you is maybe I can just add one page and I can put the TI instructions. TI-83, TI-84 instructions. So this will help you. What I am going to be doing here is, again, I'm telling you, I'm keeping in mind the students who are using the bottom or the lowest version of the calculator. The highest version can do all fancier stuff. So TI-83, that's going to be done in this class. If you're using the higher version, say TI-84 or a plus CE, first of all, you go to mode, which is the second button in the second row. Second button in the second row.
Okay, I got that.
All right. And then you hit that. So select that. Once you hit mode, you will get the list of options. So now you will see stats diagnostics on. I can take a snapshot of it and I can post it if you want. So you can just turn it on, only then you get your R value. So this one will help you to get the R value. So this should be on, only then you get the R value, which is the correlation value.
And is this also where Stat Wizards has to be off?
That is correct.
Okay, so that I did.
Okay, so once you turn off the Stat Wizards, I want you to turn it off.
Yeah.
I want you to turn it off to get the normal CDF mode. To get the normal CDF mode. All right. So once you turn it off, then you will be good. Okay. So if you are going to be working on the problem related to x less than or equal to whatever is the number, so here you are going to convert this into z-score, because the z-score is very important. That's what I'm telling you. Z-score is important because that is going to tell you the given numerical value, how many standard deviations is below the center or above the center. So the significance of z-score is very, very important. All right, so that's what I'm going to be telling you. If it is the less than sign, I want you to use normal CDF. It is a -8, my favorite number, and then the z-score. Your z-score may be positive or your z-score may be negative. So for this scenario, I will get 1 with a positive z-score. So the z-score is a positive, which is above the center. So see, this is what you are going to be calculating. If the z-score is a positive number, or if the numerical value that you are given is giving you the positive z-score, and with the less than sign, you are going to calculate this probability or the area. Always I recommend you to draw the diagram, shade the area for the given event, and that is the probability. The shaded area is the probability. If your z-score happens to be a negative number, then you will still use your -8, but you are going to have your z-score negative number, which is going to be -8, comma the z-score, which is going to be a negative number. So in the first diagram, the red one, the z-score is positive. In the second one, the z-score is a negative. So as long as I have the less than sign, this is what you're going to be plugging in. Go to second was. So this is another important thing. Go to second was, and then option number 2, which is the normal CDF.
Okay. So these ones I know because I realize these where you normal CDF if it's on the left or the right, and the ones where you do it in between. There was another one that it was like inverse norm.
Yeah, that is going to be for finding your z-score. So for finding the z-score, you're reversing the process to get the z value with the known probability. So that's going to be done using option number 3. So let me complete this one so that others can get the idea of what we are supposed to do. So
Okay,
I am converting my numerical value to the z-score. So this will give you again 2 types of diagram. One is going to be the z-score, which is a positive number, and the z-score is going to be a negative number. So once the z-score is going to be a positive number, you are going to look for the area above. So this is going to be the z-score cutoff, and I'm going to be putting my favorite number 8. If you do not like 8, that's fine. You can put any number greater than 3. It could be 4, or it could be 5, or 6, or 7, or 8, or 9, or 99, or 999. Any number of your choice can be written. But now, what if the given numerical value is giving you a negative z-score? So if it is going to be still exceeding z, this is what I'm saying. I am going to have normal CDF z-score comma a. In the first picture, my z-score is a negative number. I'm still looking for area exceeding z. And in the second picture, I am getting my z-score value as a negative number, but still I'm looking for area exceeding z. So basically, I am going to convert this into z-score. So normal CDF, whatever is a z-score, again and again, z-score is important because that tells you how many standard deviation it is above the center or below the center. Let me complete the last one, which is going to be bounded between the two numbers. The probability that some numerical value less than x less than or equal to another numerical value. So this one is going to give you the z1. The first numerical value is giving you the z-score, which is called as z1, and the second numerical value is giving you the second z-score, which is z2. So now this is going to be the normal CDF. You just separate the two z-scores by a comma. That's it. You are going to separate the two z-scores by a comma. The comma is right above number 7. The comma is right above number 7. Using technology obviously is going to make your life easier. So if you are asked to use the z table, then go ahead and use the z table, but that number will certainly match with your technology number. Okay.
Sorry.
And go ahead.
When I was doing the quiz, I had big trouble though with the TI-84. Mine is TI-84 plus. I don't know if it makes it different because when I try to put mine, it says lower and upper, and when I put the information, it tells me error. I don't know why.
Maybe the negative sign, or you using the takeaway sign instead of the tiny negative sign within parentheses. This is what you're supposed to use. If you are using the negative sign, there is a tiny negative sign within parentheses in the last row. That's what you're supposed to use. If it is a negative z-score. If you use the takeaway sign, the subtraction sign, it will give you the error message.
Oh, okay.
I don't know which one you are using. So this is what you're supposed to use. The one in the last row within parentheses.
The last row.
Here, this is what you're supposed to use. See, in this diagram, both z-scores are negative, right? For example, if I am going to be getting my z-score as a normal CDF, it is going to be negative 1.57 comma negative 0.83. So suppose both z-scores are negative, I have to use the tiny negative sign within parentheses. So my first z-score is a negative 1.57. I'm just making it up, okay? And this number is going to be negative 8.3. So both z-scores are negative number. Now what is the area bounded between? Whatever is the number your z table is giving you, it is going to match with my TI number. So if I'm going to be using the z table, I'm going to be finding area to the left of z equals negative 0.83. Take away the subtraction sign, area to the left of.
Yeah, where you have to subtract them.
Yes, that's right. So whatever your z table is giving you, those are going to be the same number that your TI is going to give you. They are going to be identical.
I think my calculator doesn't have this negative parentheses.
It should. You should have it in the last row. In the last row. I am zooming it. This is the one. The last row, you see the tiny negative parentheses within, the tiny negatives and within parentheses, my finger is showing it. You should have.
I cannot see on my thing.
I'm zooming it. Now do you see?
No, I'm using my tablet because my computer
okay.
up. So.
Okay. Yeah, so there is going to be, I'm telling you, the last row, the last button. The last row, last button.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Enter. Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
very last row, the last button.
I see.
Ignore the enter button. That's going to be the last button, the last row. That helps?
Yeah, and so if it says lower and upper, I put the. I'm supposed to be putting the lower, the upper, then the mean.
Correct. You don't have to. Once you convert it to the normal CDF, you don't have to put the lower upper because you are going to use the normal CDF,
To
right?
convert my calculator to the normal CDF.
That is right. So that's what the process. I said that go to the mode, turn off the wizards, and then you are going to get only the normal CDF. Once you turn off the wizards, you will get only the normal CDF mode. No way it's going to ask you the mu and the sigma value.
Yeah, I have the same calculator as you. I have the 84 plus CE. And I don't know. Yeah, I did that pretty early on, so I don't know if you had a chance to do that.
And you said to go mode?
Yeah, the mode. The mode is the second row, second button.
Okay, second
row,
mode.
Second button. Second button in the second row.
Okay, mode. And
yes, hit enter. And then you get the screen full of some options, and then go to Stat Wizards, turn it off, and make sure the Stat Diagnostics is on. Don't touch that. It should be on. Only then you get the R value. All right. So here I am going to have a couple of z-scores. If both z-scores are negative, or you can also get the scenario where one z-score is a negative, one z-score is positive. So this one is a negative z-score and this one is a positive z-score. Still, you're going to use a normal CDF, the area bounded between the two z1 and z2 scores. Or you can also have the third scenario where both z-scores are positive. So where both z-scores are positive, and this is the area bounded between C1 and C2. So this is the area bounded between C1 and C2. So once you convert that into z-score, normal CDF, and then Z1 comma Z2. So the first one is a less than. You get two scenario. One z-score is less than, the other one is positive. Again, with the greater than sign, you are going to shade the area to the right of the z-score because of the greater than or equal to sign. And then the first one is going to be area to the left of z-score because of your less than or equal to sign. And then the option number 3 is the inverse norm. So option number 3 is going to be the inverse norm. So this is going to give you area to the left. Area to the left of. I'm talking about the area. Area to the left of the z-score. And that's going to give you the inverse norm. Area to the left of the z-score is going to give you. Suppose you are given the area to the left of the z-score, which is going to be just about 30%. If this is 30% probability, now you need to get what is the cutoff point. You need to get what is the cutoff point. So that cutoff point is, what is z? So the z is going to be the inverse norm area to the left, which is 0.30. And that's going to be hit, and you can use your TI. So that's going to give you the z-score. Second was option number 3 is 0.30, and you get that number, which is negative 0.5244005101. So this is going to be the huge number that you are going to give. If you are going to be using your z-table will give you that number as a negative 0.52. So this one is the area to the left. Go ahead.
What were the buttons to get to inverse norm prior?
Second was option number 3.
Oh, okay, wait, sorry.
Yeah. Second was
variable
option number 3. or distribution. Both are same button, the wars or distribution.
Inverse norm.
Yeah. The inverse norm is
I
pretty
see.
much like reversing the process to get the z-score.
Yeah, and then that's where normal CDF is 2. Inverse
The other
norm
one is to get the probability. The other one is to get the probability. This one will make your life easier.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to stop using the paper Z table.
Yeah, you can use that. You can use it. But what I'm saying is there are methods to do that. So initially I introduced the Z table because you may not have your calculator handy dandy all the time, right? Suppose if you are going to have the Z table, then you can download it and you can get the Z score and you can work on the probability problem. Because you're not going to carry this guy all the time. Suppose if you do not have this guy with you, still you are asked to do some problem, yes, you can use your Z table, both are going to be identical. But with the 68, 95, 99.7 rule is the approximation, otherwise you can use Z table or the TI-83 or 84.
And you said there's another one that gives you the area?
That gives you the area is the Z table or the TI-83, 84.
What were the steps?
Oh, the other one is the approximation, 68, 95, 99.7 rule.
But wait, what are the steps in the calculator to do the area?
The same thing. This is what we are talking about now.
Oh, the CDF?
Yeah, normal CDF is the only thing that will give you.
Oh, okay.
So this is the probability. The shaded one is the area. The shaded one is the probability.
Yeah, and then the other one gives you the Z-score. That goes the opposite way. Okay.
Sometimes with your Z-score, your answer is not 100% done. You still have to work for what is the X score. So that part needs to be done. Suppose your mu and sigma are given in the problem, you need to go ahead and do the algebra to get your X score. Okay, because you need to get the cutoff point, right? So once you get the z-score, you still have to work with the z-score formula. The z-score formula is x minus mu over sigma. So you are going to get the x score, which is what you are going to be doing. Inverse norm 0.30 times sigma plus mu. That's it. So this is going to be the formula for this, the bottom 30%. For the bottom 30%, the cutoff point is just the inverse norm 0.30 sigma plus mu. And that's what we are using in our quartiles too. So if you are working on the quartiles, the bottom 25%, right? So the formula is going to be, if this is the bottom 25%, you are going to have the cutoff point here. The z-score is going to be negative 0.67, or you can have the formula, which is inverse norm 0.25 area to the left times sigma plus mu, or you can have it as a negative 0.67 times sigma plus mu. So this is the formula for your quartile. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it is the bottom 75, the top 25%, or you are looking for the 75th percentile, the 75th percentile or the top 25% is going to give you the cutoff point, and that's going to be your Z with inverse norm 0.75 area to the left. And that's going to be your Q3 is equal to inverse norm area to the left, which is 0.75 times sigma plus mu. What is it? Mm-hmm.
This is related to the quartiles.
That is correct.
Okay,
I'm still talking about the inverse norm concept. If it is
and the 0.67 comes from that inverse norm.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because your TI is also programmed for area to the left. Even this guy is programmed for area to the left. So that way you get the correct z-score. Area to the left. So your Q3 formula is going to be the inverse now 0.75, which is same as 0.67, and sigma plus mu. So that's what you are going to be doing if you are finding some x value.
So like, let's say there was a quiz. Is it time to go? Because this is supposed to be pretty short, right? There's only like 20 minutes.
So I still have just about 5 minutes. I will just continue to work on with my other 11:30 class.
Well, let's say in chapter 11, let's say there was a question on the quiz, and it was like, oh my God, sorry, I'm scrolling to find it.
So, you know what, have your questions ready.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
I just been flipping through screens. It was like, if the height of NBA players are normally distributed with a mean height of 73, standard deviation 2.2, and it's like, what's the probability that the players between 72 and 74? Does that mean you can use the normal CDF with the two z-scores in between?
Right. Because there is going to be only one observation, right? One player is going to be selected, right? So you said the mean is 73, the standard deviation is 2.2, right? The height. So with these two numbers, you are going to be getting the two z-scores of one for 72 and the other one for 72, because you are going to pick only one basketball player, right?
Yeah, and then you can use normal CDF using both the scores.
That is
okay.
Right. Anybody has any question? Just about 2 minutes to start my regular class. Any other questions? I'm still working on the review questions. I'm almost done. So right after the class, maybe around 4 o'clock, I will just put it on Canvas, okay? As well, OneNote. So that will help you to get ready for your exam too. I'm still working, and it should be ready by today.
Okay.
Because yesterday I was grading the quizzes on chapter 13, so it took a lot of my time, and I also had my another quiz for my math 141 students. So the whole yesterday I was grading online quizzes.
Yeah.
So I should be done by today. And not only that, my fourth class I had to work with them as well. So yeah, I'm just doing one at a time. So I'm promising you it will be ready by today evening, maybe around 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. It will be ready. The review questions for exam. It's going to be pretty similar to the questions that's going to be asked on Saturday learning.
Okay.
All right. Anybody has any other question? All right, no problem. You're very welcome. Okay. Anybody has any question?
Yes. For tomorrow.
What is that, Ricky?
No, I have to look for it.
Oh yeah. Please. I'm also going to be available, but I'm pretty glad that today I got about 7 students or 9 students. So if it is going to be less than 5 students, I might as well cancel for the rest of the quarter. For the remaining 2 weeks. Okay. So that's what is going to be my plan. Okay, good. If I have students, if they are asking questions, that's going to certainly help other students to learn. Even if they don't have any questions, they can certainly understand when I'm explaining it to you. Or other students' questions will help others to understand the concept. So either way, it will work. All right. Anybody has any question? Just about 1 minute to go. Otherwise, I'm going to start. So the 12:30 class students, if you wish to stay here in this 11:30 class, most welcome. You can continue to stay here. Not a problem. All right. Go ahead. Anybody has any question? Unmute and ask your question.
Most of my questions about the calculator too, so this is really helpful.
Yes, you were concerned about the calculator part. So now, do you think this page helps you? Because I created a separate page, but my notes have the instructions here and there. Now I just made a separate page, so this will help you to do what you're supposed to do in order to use your TI. But the TI is much easier, it saves your time, and then you can always get the help of the technology to get the probability. It's time saving. All right. So I
Yes.
guess I'm going to start my material on chapter 14. And so as I said, the 12:30 class students, if you wish to stay here for another 1 hour, or if you want to go, you can just go. It's up to you, and you can come back. So I'm not monitoring, okay? All right. So